Business Brain, episode 606 for Wednesday, December 11th, National App Day. Does your business have an app? I don't know. 2024. Greetings, folks, and welcome to Business Brain, the show where we take some ideas, a few, several, we crunch them, we dissect them, we use them to tune our business brains just so we can keep on living those charmed lives. Speaking of tools that'll help us live our charmed lives, our sponsors today are Incogni.com/brain, where you can use code BRAIN to get 60% off an annual plan there while you take your personal data back, and Shopify.com/businessbrain, where you can go to sign up for a $1 per month trial for anyone to sell anywhere. And we've got a little more detail about each one of those that we're going to share a little bit later to explain why you want to click those links and go check it out. For now, here in Durham, New Hampshire, I'm Dave Hamilton.
And out here in Lafayette, California, I'm Shannon Jean. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Rocking and rolling.
Nice.
Yeah. It's the weather's finally here. Feels like winter. It's not 80 degrees anymore.
Yeah. It's finally, we're getting a little chilly out here. Well, we're in the West Coast, but low, I had to go fix a furnace at one of our vacation rentals yesterday. When I went in the house, it was 41.
Oh, that's
very cold. Yeah.
Oh,
and the great thing was there really wasn't any repairs needed. The propane company had just neglected to come out
to fill the tank.
Tank was at zero.
Oh yeah, that'll result in no heat.
So,
it turns out.
So we are a thermostat that's alerting us online, like there's a big problem. There's no. So anyway, but that's not what we're here to talk about today. We have a couple of interesting topics. I want to talk about one that I call, and it's kind of reseller specific because I'm a reseller, and I imagine there's a bunch of resellers listening. But and I call it "selling is not enough." Is how I kind of refer to it. And what I mean by that is it's easy or straightforward, I should say, not easy, but to list stuff on Amazon, list stuff on eBay, list things for sale on Poshmark. You pick the marketplace, whatever it is. And you can be successful and everything else, but if you really want to get to the next level, you have to get involved. You have to become part of the community. So just listing and selling is not enough. eBay should know your name. Poshmark should know who you are.
Yes.
And there's a few different ways to get there. And it's mainly just getting involved in the community. All those marketplaces, they each have like community sites where you can get up in the chat. If you want to sell on Poshmark or eBay or Vestiaire, Whatnot is another new app that's live selling that's super popular. You should go on LinkedIn. And you should connect with those executives and people that work at those companies. And you should say, I love Whatnot and I love selling on eBay, and here's my account. Just wanted to let you know. That's it. You're not asking anything of them. You're not telling them to do anything. And you want to get involved in their conversation. It elevates your account to an entirely different level, especially when you need help. Right?
Yes.
And if they know who you are, a couple things happen. One, when they need somebody like, Shannon sells in the technology category or luxury handbags when I was doing that. And we have an inquiry from the New York Times, the San Francisco Chronicle, or from Business Insider. And they have they want to have some questions for an account that's selling in category X. If they know you, you get those emails. Hey,
totally.
Shannon, would you like to talk to Business Insider or, NewYorkTimes.com, whatever it is? And the answer is yes. You want to talk to those people because that drives traffic to your listings.
Of course it does. Yes. No, this is really smart. I know I've echoed my friend Tim Street's comment many times, and this is another example of it. This is a full contact sport.
Exactly.
Right. And by that, Tim, and therefore I mean, you need to be connected. You need to be out there pressing the flesh, handshakes, whether that's in person. It's networking 101. But it's so easy in today's world where you don't have to be in the same room as these people you have to go out of your way to find them.
Yes.
But that gives you a competitive advantage because so many people don't go out of their way to find the executives.
99% of them.
Yes, correct.
Is people put stuff for sale. Oh, didn't do good. That doesn't work.
eBay sucks. Moves
eBay
on.
sucks. Poshmark sucks. Whatever.
Whatever. No, you gotta talk to the people there. Meet the people, and sometimes that's gonna feel awkward because you are coming in cold.
Of course,
but better to come in cold when, like you said, all you're doing is saying, "Hey, I'm Dave. I use your platform and I love it. Just wanted to say hi."
Don't ask for anything.
Full stop. Right.
You're just, then when you see those, you go on LinkedIn, it's a great place to start. There's other ways to do this too. But when you see them posting about, oh, I got a new position at eBay.
Comment.
Oh, you're in the comments. Congratulations. That's so awesome. You've helped me paying for my kid's school selling at eBay. Or I'm a small business owner on Poshmark and it's changed my life. Be positive. Be in the flow of the conversation and it will dramatically change your life. It
ups your stock. It's
your stock. I love it. Yeah,
it's huge. It is simultaneously so much easier to do right now because of all the online connectivity that we have.
Yeah,
but also very difficult to do because you don't have to. You're not forced to be on LinkedIn interacting with these people like you would be if in the old days. If you had a vendor, you met them. So they knew everybody, and your stock was like, just by nature of you knowing them personally, your stock was not any higher than anybody else's because they knew everybody, one of their customers personally.
And you can meet these people in person too. The eBay has trade shows. Yes. Poshmark has events. They do conferences. They do things in different cities. eBay has meetups that you should be involved in. If you're going to be serious about this and you want it to generate a six-figure income for you, or whatever your definition of success is, you just have to make yourself stand out a little bit more, and it's not that difficult. And selling is not enough.
No, selling's not enough, and you are relying on these companies for your business. Like if you're selling on Poshmark, that is a fundamental part of your business's success stack. And if Poshmark were to go away or change change enough that it no longer does what you need it to do, that's a major problem for you. So make sure you have a path to talk to these very important vendors. I know you're essentially paying them because they're taking a commission of your sales. Yes. That's fine. That's okay. It's part of the deal. It's fine.
It's part of this philosophy too that I talk about a lot is treat your suppliers, who I would call, let's say, a vendor or supplier. You treat them like a customer, and you invert the relationship, and it changes the whole perspective. And if you do for them, they'll come back and do for you. I met a woman at eBay a number of years ago. They asked me to be in this marketing promotional thing they were doing for their 20th anniversary. No problem. Great. I drove to, about 45 minutes, was in this video that they were doing. And she said, oh, excuse me. She says, I'm going to upgrade your account. I'm going to give you concierge level service for life. And I can't tell you how that, well, I can. The value of that phone number that I can call is insane. And I wrote about this recently in my newsletter. They also increased my selling limits, that they had to 500 billion. Meaning they're unlimited.
It's unlimited.
Their way. Unlimited.
Yeah, right.
So that was just because I did a favor for them and got a little exposure.
Because they know you.
Yeah, they know me.
You are not some number in their system. Correct. You are Shannon. And that's the goal. That's what you want to make sure you do, folks. All right, folks. Imagine for a moment, if you will, that your personal data is like a prized business pitch and some sneaky data brokers just walked into the boardroom and stole your slides. That's exactly what's happening out there these days. These digital stockpilers are snatching your name, your email, even your social security number and selling it off to the highest bidder or bidders. But fear not, because Incogni is here to save the day. Incogni acts like your personal fixer, telling those data brokers, you're fired. They remove your personal data, handle every objection, and keep your info off the market with repeated removal requests. It's like having a cybersecurity team on retainer, but without the price tag of a Fortune 500 IT department. And here's one of my favorite parts. Incogni can even protect up to 4 friends or family members, because if you're living a charmed life, why not extend that charm to your loved ones? So why procrastinate? You can protect your data now. They'll tell those pesky data brokers to buzz off and handle any pushback with the skill of a top negotiator. And if you've got those VIPs in your life, you can protect up to 4 of them, like I said. So take your personal data back with Incogni. Use code BRAIN at incogni.com/brain and get 60% off an annual plan. That's incogni.com, incogni.com/brain, where you use code BRAIN and get 60% off an annual plan. And our thanks to Incogni for sponsoring this episode. All right. You know what separates a hobby from a thriving business? Well, the tools behind the scenes that make selling seamless and scalable. And that's where our sponsor Shopify comes in. I just started using Shopify for all the merch that we sell over at Mac Geek Gab, another podcast I do, and it's like upgrading from a clunky pushcart to a fully loaded rocket ship. Shopify is home to the #1 checkout on the planet. Their secret weapon? ShopPay, which boosts conversions by up to 50%. That means fewer abandoned carts and way more sales. And that's a good sound to hear, because that's the sound you hear when you make a sale on Shopify. So whether your customers are scrolling, strolling, or impulse buying at 2 a.m., Shopify's got you covered. And here's a wild part. With Shopify, you'll be living that charmed life while your store practically runs itself. So if you're ready to level up and upgrade your business and get the same checkout that we use with Shopify, sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/businessbrain, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/businessbrain to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/businessbrain. And our thanks to Shopify for sponsoring this episode. Well, Shannon, it's December. And that means
December 10th.
Yeah, the year's going to end very soon.
Yes, it is.
About 3 weeks now. And
yes.
And there are things to think about with our businesses before that arbitrary time when the year changes from 2024 to 2025, especially if your tax year also ends at that point.
And that is a great lead into my first end of year task topic. Okay. Should your year end be in December? Most people just, when you set your books up, it's like, oh, sure, yeah, calendar year. I'm a reseller. I'm always looking for deals.
Yes.
When is the greatest time of the year to find deals?
December.
The end of the year.
The end, when everybody's trying to get stuff off their books.
They want the inventory off their books. They're going to report their earnings, all this kind of stuff. I don't want my year to end in December. So for my reselling businesses, they end in the spring, some different things. So talk to your accountant, look at your past purchases if you're a buyer, and ask yourself, should we be ending things in December, or should we have a fiscal year that ends in March, or whatever works for your for your particular business? Ask yourself that question.
Yeah.
Number one. Every year I think about doing these end of year shows, but when I search, we haven't done one in like 4 years. So it's
been a little while.
Yeah. Has been a little while. I think that what about, we're getting ready to make contributions to our SEP IRAs, or our solo 401ks.
Yep.
If you have employees, we used to have a bunch of employees, so I never could take advantage of the solo 401k. But now that, things have changed, we sold those businesses. My wife is my only employee.
And that doesn't count it's not the same as having a non-spouse as an employee. And specifically, obviously consult with your tax pro. But
yes,
what I know to be true is that two spouses can work together at a business and each draw a salary and still participate as though you are a solopreneur in terms of the solo 401k and those sorts of things. That's the SEP, all that stuff. Yep.
That's right. Yeah, it's great. I mean, if you have the cash flow, the amount of money that you can tax defer is it's substantial.
Yes.
Very substantial. So if you're a smaller business or a solopreneur, or, my wife's on my payroll, and then we provide her health care and I'm on her plan, and then the company takes that right off for the health care.
Sure.
Which is good benefits. So ask your accountants, or your financial planners do you qualify for a solo 401k or some kind of SEP IRA? And, the way I look at it, you either pay the IRS or you pay yourself and push those liabilities down the road. When you're older, if your annual income drops and you're living on your assets at that time, you'll be in a different tax bracket.
Yep, you'll be all set. Right? Yeah, you're paying that money. Yeah. You're paying taxes on that money at a lower rate, hopefully.
Yeah.
Hey, I have a little bit of a detour to take with you here. Now that it is just you and your wife, are you buying health insurance as like a corporate plan, a business plan, or do you buy it as an individual on either the marketplace or direct with a thing? But do you have an individual plan or a corporate plan?
We have an individual plan, but it does qualify as a business expense.
Oh, yes.
Right.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
I just wanted to
buy in a marketplace. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So here's something interesting. I am a nut about this because I have never, well, that's not entirely true. Let's go with it anyway. I have never had company health insurance at any of my businesses. And there was one business where that wasn't true. But by and large, I have always bought individual plans for myself because back before ACA and all that, certainly it was cheaper by half to buy an individual plan than it was to buy company plans. And there were a lot of reasons for that, and it doesn't matter. It just was the case. So I have become kind of an expert on negotiating my way through these healthcare plans. And I know this week is the final week here in the U.S. for you to choose if you're doing that through either the marketplace or direct with the insurer. And I have a spreadsheet where I plug in the plan and the various costs associated with it, and then also our predicted use of medical services in the upcoming year. And nice. I easily, now that I have built the spreadsheet, and I'm happy to share it with anybody, feedback@businessbrain.show. But it's fairly easy to just kind of go through and figure out, all right, this plan's going to save us money, even though it looks like it's more expensive or whatever.
Sure.
If you are buying that way, and I know most of us are, don't only look at the marketplace. If you can get a subsidy, then the marketplace is where you must go.
Yeah.
However, if you don't qualify for a subsidy because your income is too high, find the plans on the marketplace that are available in your area, and then go to the websites of those insurers and look at the exact same plans. Every year, the difference between them, and sometimes the marketplace is lower, sometimes the insurer is lower, the difference between them for us is often greater than $100 per month.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's good.
And I have an insurance agent, and I asked him a couple of years ago when I first noticed this, I'm like, what the heck's going on? And they're like, no, that's just how it works. It's like,
wow.
Okay, great. Like, I'll take the less expensive one, please. So just to be aware of that, I figured I'd share the tip. Yep.
Yeah, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Another thing I really like doing is I love this 1 page a day concept where you encourage people just to write 1 page a day about anything, what's going on. I only have one rule about it, is you must share it with someone. That makes it accountable. You can share it with your followers. You could share it with your wife, your kids. I have clients that I do, and they share it with me. So that makes it, I'm writing this and someone's going to read it. It makes it different, and I think that's powerful. And as we wind up the end of the years, we've talked about this on the show before, this executive summary, right?
Yeah.
If you're a corporate entity. It could be your minutes, because that's very, very important to do annually to keep your status, legal. And I just started with a monologue. What happened this year? What did we do right? What mistakes did we learn from? We hired new people. We moved our building. And what are the opportunities that we're going to be doing next year? I think that's really, and just start this draft of what's going on. And if you can use part of it for the business, but I would encourage you to do personally as well.
Yeah.
As my life has changed, like in the last 5 or 6 years as a solopreneur, I include a lot more personal things that have gone on. My daughter got married, my son got out of college,
sure,
all these kinds of things. I think it's just a great document to have. I think it's powerful. It helps make you think. You can tease certain things out of it that if you want to expand on it. But I do like that rule is that you must share it with someone.
So now I'm wondering if you took each of those pages, or certainly your executive summaries over the years, and fed them all into ChatGPT and asked it to tell you the top 5 things you're doing right and the top 5 things you're doing wrong.
That's a great idea.
Right?
I love it, man. Yeah, that's one of the greatest uses of the AI.
Yes.
Summarizing and teasing out data for
that you wouldn't see because you're too in it.
Yeah, it just takes so long, and having it work on your content is
right.
Powerful.
That's
man.
Where it
huge.
That's where it does a great thing.
Huge. Yeah. So I think that's working on this. If you want some more info, feedback at businessbrain.show or at Shannon Jean, at Dave Hamilton. At us and let us know those questions. We'd be glad to help.
Please do at us. We want to hear from you. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for another fun palindromic episode, 606. Love that number. Yep. And keep on living that charmed life. We will see you on Friday.